you just tell our audience what Obama and Biden used this office for? It was one of the biggest at the Department of Justice.
Yeah, there were over 400 attorneys when I got here to the Civil Rights Division. They're less than half now because more than half of them quit when I made clear that our priorities were going to be enforcing the laws equally for all Americans, not just weaponizing it for a select few. That's exactly what the Obama and the Biden administrations did. They really staffed up the Civil Rights Division. They took the opportunity to hire a bunch of, radical lawyers who had a particular agenda. And then they used that to, for example, advance the Marxist goal of defunding the police in the United States, which I think everyone who lives in a city is familiar with this problem. And they concocted these consent decrees and really never proving them in court for the most part, and just sort of forced them down the throats of these cities. And a lot of cities were on the other side themselves having, city council members who also wanted to defund the police. So they were happy that the DOJ was doing their dirty work for them and making it seem like this was a federal priority as opposed to a local priority. So one of the first things we did when we came in this new administration is begin to unwind those destructive consent decrees that have made Americans less safe. The average consent decree in a city, Charlie, lasts over 13 years. The goalposts keep shifting, and it costs the city over $200 million. Some fat cat lawyer and some big law firm on an expense account gets paid over $1 million a year typically to enforce these consent decrees, and crime goes way up in each city with these consent decrees. That's called the Ferguson effect. We don't want that to be the case. There's the occasional cop who commits misconduct. We prosecute those individuals, and that is kind of the core of our constitutional system. Individual opportunity, individual accountability, not group justice, and not making all the citizens of Phoenix or Albuquerque or Seattle pay for the sins, or frankly, sometimes imaginary sins, of a few.